nerdy news? Would you like some nerdy news?
I
Let's
think
do
we
some
should get
nerdy
some
news.
nerdy news.
I'm very sad, Mr. Zontal.
I can see. Do you know what's
Invincible
bad?
game
I'm
that has
not
been rumored
surprised.
for a long, long time. Got a trailer. The trailer looked so good. It looked like an RPG game where there was multiple characters.
Oh, sick.
I was like, fuck
This is some cool cinematic.
This looks good.
Mm.
I cannot wait.
This must be for next gen.
And then within about 15 seconds left of the trailer, it pans out and it's on a mobile phone screen and it's a turn-based game.
Ah, the classic bait and switch.
Pain. All I know is pain. So much pain.
There really needs... Like, it's wild that mobile games can get away with showing like these crazy cinematic like trailers, and then it's like, oh, by the way, the game looks nothing like this, and it's a turn-based weird strategy game.
Well, no, you'll get like a massive crazy cinematic, and then it will be like a fucking make-for puzzle game.
Yeah.
It's like, I had Bejeweled Blitz on Facebook back in 2007. I'm over it.
The best ones are on TikTok where it's like, this game is impossible. No one can get past level. And it's like, no, stop. Yeah, it's sad that it's a mobile game.
It really fucking sucks, man.
It doesn't surprise me, unfortunately. Like, so many...
Ubisoft have made it. So I was like, oh, Ubisoft are working on it. They do big open worlds.
I'm telling you, Ubisoft is still bad.
I know, but at least that's actually a game fucking developer that make AAA games. I was like, we might have a fucking chance here. But no. Just fuck me.
Unfortunate.
We can hold out hope. The reaction from the entire internet has been, are you fucking kidding me? So hopefully they realise that the people do in fact want this.
The thing is, it'll still release. It just will then disappear into the void.
Some very interesting news.
Comic news.
That has a bit of backstory behind it, so you're going to have to keep up with me.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Iman Vellani, who plays Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, is co-writing the new Ms. Marvel comic run.
Okay.
Which is fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
We've all known since day one she's a massive comic book fan.
Yeah.
I mean, even during some of the press for the Marvels, the cast have been saying if they weren't sure about something, they were asking her because she just has that trust of the cast that she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
This is where it gets a bit techie.
Okay.
Kamala Khan is an Inhuman.
Uh-huh.
Who recently died in a Spider-Man comic.
Okay.
And when I say recently, I mean the comic is up there in my hasn't read yet pile that are like my monthly delivered.
Right, okay.
So this has happened like in the last 2, maybe 3 months.
Right.
And in the new comic run, she's joining the X-Men.
Okay.
Here's the issue. The phrase mutant was used in this Marvel show.
Yeah.
So the concern is, although they've claimed they're not doing this, they're going to retcon her inhumane heritage.
Right.
Make her a mutant. And then she's going to be a mutant in the MCU. And then they're going to use that as an ability to also retcon what her powers originally were and make her comic book powers match her MCU powers.
Right.
And here's the even bigger issue with this. Ms. Marvel, while we enjoyed the show, was not well received by MCU fans.
No.
And comic book fans love Ms. Marvel. So when the MCU fans didn't like the show, and the comic book fans are protective of this character, why are you taking the stuff that didn't work on a big scale,
and
trying to force it this way, instead of taking what works over here and forcing it this way?
It's dangerous territory.
That is definitely one way to put it.
Because this could be the start of them forcing MCU stuff into the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no. Now you're fucking with the source material.
Exactly. But also there's a little bit of concern around her design in the new comic run.
Okay.
Obviously, Miss Marvel is designed to show the character's heritage,
Yeah.
and they seem to have taken some of the stuff that's important to her heritage and just left the similar concept there, but made it more generic and less about her heritage.
Mm,
So instead of like a
dangerous.
traditional like Pakistani like jacket,
Yeah.
it's just a typical button down.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, why would you do that?
Things being changed that need to be changed.
Yeah. Hopefully the course gets corrected. Hopefully, because we haven't seen a lot of stuff, hopefully this just a couple of they haven't put their best foot forward and the other stuff's actually fine.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess we'll find out.
but it's interesting nonetheless. I guess this kind of can fall into later, but we'll discuss it now because it's just the order it happened in earlier in the week. We got another little mini trailer TV spot thing for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Turtle
Mutant
Tots.
Mayhem. Yeah, with them as little kids getting saved
Fucking
by Splinter.
adorable.
I loved it so much. I just want to
It
pick them up
was
and cuddle them.
so fucking cute.
I hope this is the next generation of kids like plushy toy that they hold on to forever. Because these things are fucking cute.
Yeah, they are. And I wouldn't be surprised. It's like, it's going to be like, it really is going to be that new generation of kids. They're like, we had our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we remember. Like, this is going to become iconic for a new generation of like, what is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Exactly.
And honestly, the way they did they showed them kind of growing up as they were smashing there's a little like the moment where they're smashing the post thing,
Yeah.
flipping past, they're slowly getting
And then
older.
yeah, it's so good. I mean, let's be clear: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles source material is just peak. There is so much you can do with it. It is destined to be like something that should always be. It should be an IP synonymous with Star Wars and Marvel and Harry
Yeah,
Potter. It should be up there because it's in so many like young adults' hearts, and there's so much fun to be had with it.
agreed.
Um, so it should do well, and hopefully it does.
Yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to the film.
Next up, Godzilla and Dune Part 2 both
Yes,
had panels planned for San Diego Comic Con.
they did.
They have both been cancelled due to the SAG-AFTRA strikes. I've not had any confirmation of any other panels or booths or anything being cancelled yet. I've not seen anything else.
No, I haven't either.
So that might just mean that the panels weren't going to have actors anyway, or they were going to be on a smaller scale, or like as of now they're just going to be on a smaller scale with just the production.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do think a lot of the panels that might have been having actors come on after showing like a little teaser trailer are just going to show like teaser stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we'll probably talk about it a little later on, but obviously, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had their panel, and I feel like it was a lot more reeled back than it probably was going to be.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, Godzilla and Dune 2. Dune 2 probably would have been a good panel. I'm not that fussed though that Godzilla isn't there. They're not like crazy big films that people are like very hyped for right now. Dune 2 probably more than, but it's not the end of the world that they're not at San Diego Comic Con, I don't think.
Yeah.
In some shocking but also not shocking, disappointing but also not surprised news, Flash. And I know we've talked
Yeah.
a lot on Flash over this last year, and this is probably the last time we will mention this film for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But it's ending its cinema run with less money than Green Lantern, which is quite impressive.
Now, there's a number of caveats we need to add to this.
Okay.
Because, yes, this is bad. But first and foremost, the Flash film is not as bad as the Green Lantern film.
No, which is why it's surprising.
Yeah. I understand the complaints with the Flash. I have my own complaints with the Flash. It does not deserve the level of just visceral hate that it's got. There have been
Agreed.
far worse superhero films.
Agreed.
Secondly, Green Lantern made a lot of money because at the time there wasn't really loads of bad superhero films.
Yeah.
So people were more willing to part with their money. They were like, fuck it, another superhero film, we're on a roll. This film came out in 2011.
Also, it was Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
So everyone's like, oh my God, Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah. And the internet, although it was yes a thing, it wasn't as big with people talking about their opinions on new films as it is now. So whereas now a film comes out on the opening day, all your Twitter feed is just everyone giving their opinions on it, and that will sour your, whether you realize it or not, that will make you, if you're on the fence about something, that will push you one way or the other. That wasn't happening as much back in 2012.
No, it wasn't.
So they could go, I'll give it a go. And also 2012 isn't 2023 when the world feels like they have no money anymore, so they're only going to go see something they absolutely desperately want to see.
Yeah. The times have changed.
Yes, big style. It is still a horrific L
Yes.
for the Flash, but it makes it sound the way the headlines have all been written, like Green Lantern better than Flash because more money.
Not true.
And this is just not the case at all. I don't think anyone who's seen both of the films would say they prefer Green Lantern.
No. I don't think so.
It's just there are more economic factors at play here.
The only thing that is better in Green Lantern than Flash is lead actor.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds much better than Ezra Miller.
Yes.
That's the only thing that has it going for it. But yeah, it's wild that it's done less money. And yes, with all the factors in play, like it's still a weird thing to be in where it's like your new headline is you've done worse than Green Lantern. And that's the last thing you want.
When that's seen as like the garbage pile of DC films, like that is the worst DC film. It's like if you ask someone what's the worst DC film, a lot of people go straight to that. And you made less money than that. A lot of people are going to use that as a reason to forever say The Flash is the worst ever DC film, even though it's not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one's a fucking interesting one. There are rumors circulating that BOB Iger is interested in selling Disney. I have one fucking question. To who?
Well, here's the thing, right? It's happened before, hasn't it? Where they brought up potentially selling and essentially no one wanted it or no one could offer them what they wanted. So
let's be clear. Disney should not have been able to buy Fox.
No.
That antitrust laws should have stopped that from happening. I don't know how they didn't. And with all of the heat on this Microsoft Blizzard deal, there are going to be people screaming from the rooftops if anyone comes in to buy Disney about, okay, do I have a look at that? can you think of any company that has enough money to buy Disney that doesn't also own some kind of other media that would instantly make it a monopoly?
Because like the only thing I can think now, Amazon Prime has some shows, but I would say out of all the streaming platforms, it's kind of like the smaller one.
It's also the fastest growing, though.
Yes. Like, they're the only person, Amazon is the only person that I can think maybe would have the money.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, no, they absolutely could afford to do it, but there is
But
no way
then,
they'd be allowed to do it.
but this is the thing. It doesn't matter that, like, if someone was like, well, their media size compared to others is not that huge, so they're not taking a monopoly in the stream. It's like, yeah, but they're taking a monopoly in just economy. So, like, they're not going to be allowed. People were saying, like, oh, Apple could buy it. Apple doesn't give a shit about Disney.
But no, forgetting that. Do you really, really want Apple to have control over Disney?
No.
Like, ladies and gentlemen,
Because do you know what would
we have an
happen?
entire genre of fiction about why companies getting too big is a bad idea.
Well,
It's called cyberpunk dystopian, where you have these mega corporations and there are 3 of them and they make
yeah.
all of the decisions. Governments don't even exist anymore. That is what we're headed towards.
Do you know the people that were saying Apple should buy it? They are Apple fanboys because to them it will make no difference. For the general person who doesn't have Apple everything, like they don't bleed Apple like a normal sane person. If Apple bought Disney, you know for a fact Disney Plus would only be available on Apple TV. And then it's like instantly like, what the fuck? It's no. The only people that would be allowed to buy Disney would have to be some third party businessman that has oil money and no ties to anything else, and they go, yeah, okay, he can buy it.
But again, is this the kind of person we want running Disney?
Well, yeah, no. At the end of the day, it's like the only person who can buy Disney and take it over is just another Bob Iger.
But at the same time, Disney's 169 billion. That's how much that's its current market cap. So to sell Disney, you'd need someone to come up with an offer greater than 169 billion, so that when the shareholders get paid out, they're happy.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. There's
Richest,
no one's gonna offer Disney what Disney wants.
unless they're willing to sell it on pennies on the dollar.
No, no one will come to Disney with an offer that Disney likes, so then Disney won't sell. And do you know what will happen? They won't sell, so then they'll go, all right, the board will go, we need someone new at the top then to make us money. See you later, Bob Iger. In comes another, I don't know, Donnie that's got.
So there's only one person who can really, according to their net worth, afford Disney, and that's Elon Musk.
I was about to say that's Elon Musk. And his net worth is only that because he owns Twitter. So he would have to sell
45 billion.
Which he would have to sell Twitter. Actually, I like this idea.
No.
Elon,
do you really want that motherfucker in charge of the MCU and Star Wars?
I can think of worse people.
I would rather lose Twitter than have Star Wars. Because you got to remember, I know everyone complains that Star Wars has gone woke. Star Wars has always been anti-Elon Musk rhetoric. Can you imagine if he got in control of Star Wars? All of a sudden, the Empire would be the good guys, unironically. He would make the Empire the good guys. He probably thinks Darth Vader is the good guy.
The thing is, though, he would be taking over from Bob Iger, and he's not going to have any power and any control. Do you know? Well,
what can I say without getting us in trouble?
Let's be realistic. Elon Musk, even if he was like he's never going to want it because he already says he's doing too much.
Well, yeah, he's working 37 hours a day. Like, come on.
The man hasn't got time to run Disney. He's got to fix Twitter first.
But yeah, there's no way Disney can be sold unless they were to break it off into parts. Unless they sell off Marvel and Star Wars and
Yeah, I think the only thing
and
they
their
could do
theme
is
parks.
if they sold off certain rights.
Yeah, they'd have to break it
Like,
up.
the only like stuff that I could see is like they'd be willing to, like, if they sold. I don't see them wanting to sell any of the Marvel MCU connection stuff because it's like that's making them. Although we like to say like there's too much stuff and their views are down and stuff, they still make it. It's still printing them money. Star Wars, maybe they would consider breaking Star Wars off.
So I've just Googled it quickly, and obviously these are rough estimations. Don't take them as gospel.
Yeah.
So Disney's worth an estimated 170 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel is estimated to be worth about 53 billion. So still not easy to get hold of.
No.
And Star Wars is estimated to be somewhere between 5 and 10 billion.
Which
is pretty easy for most. But in this economy, when everyone seems to be trying to find a way to bring money in and cut costs, who's spending 10 billion on Star Wars? Who wants to have to deal with Star Wars fandom and pay 10 billion for the privilege?
I'm trying to think who is loved that might
Also,
be able to collectively get together 10 billion.
I just realised it wouldn't be Star Wars they're buying, it'd be Lucasfilm, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be everything under Lucasfilm, which would be the Lucasfilm Studios, Lucasfilm VFX.
Lucasfilm value. I can't see that as easily. I think because that's got like Indiana Jones and stuff underneath it,
Yeah.
as well as their game division. It's
Yeah, and all
probably
the
closer
VFX
to the.
division. Yeah.
It's probably close towards that 10 billion estimate.
Who would we want Lucasfilms to go to?
Me.
Other than us.
Luke.
What celebrity with money?
None of them. They're all pieces
Andy
of shit.
Serkis.
There is not a single person who has that amount of money who I trust. There is not a single person on this planet who is worth $10 billion or more that I think is a good human being. I don't think it is possible to accumulate that much wealth and not be a piece of shit. Hot take.
What about a collective of people?
Well, that's different, isn't it? Because at that point, you're just setting up a company to buy Lucasfilm.
What if Adam Savage resets up a company called Mythbusters and gets all our favorite celebrities under it to pitch in their money, and they collectively buy back Lucasfilms? Let Disney do a solid, be kind for once, and just give it Dave Filoni.
Give it Dave Filoni to the end of the season.
Just say, here you go. This is your redundancy package, Lucasfilms.
But yeah, it's there's no way to tell Disney.
No, it's a wild rumor.
I have no idea where the fuck that's come from.
There is also rumor at the same time as like they're gonna scale down Disney Plus, and it's like, I think this is all just coming from that one thing where Bob Iger mentioned they're reducing spending on Marvel and Star Wars. So then everyone's like, "Oh shit, Disney's in trouble." And it's like, no, they're not gonna sell.
Yeah, this is not gonna happen. And if they are, it'll just be breaking parts off.
Yeah. Bit like what Warner Bros. Is saying they're gonna do. So
yeah, but fucking weird thing anyway. Anyway, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
It started. There's only a little bit of news that we've seen so far.
Yeah, there's been one major panel, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
As we kind of said earlier, probably it was scaled back. I imagine they showed another
concept art.
Yeah, I think they showed a teaser, which is the Barbie X Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles little teaser advert. They showed concept art. Then they had some discussion where they explained like the style was done as if like a kid had drawn Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I think they've achieved. Looks sick.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
Guess they probably would have had the actor, like the 4 kids on, and maybe that would have been, but like, and maybe some of the other actors. like Seth
Yeah,
Rogen.
to answer questions and stuff,
But
but
like,
that ain't happening.
yeah, that's obviously not happening and scaled down a bit. Other than that,
Um,
there's been
just a couple of little
Ahsoka.
tidbits.
Yeah, there's been
Yeah,
Ahsoka props on show. We got to see
which
off
looks
it.
sick.
Yeah, we got to see Chopper. There's a picture of
My
Chopper
boy,
floating about.
my boy.
And like Sabine's helmet and Ahsoka's outfit, which is very cool. I always love doing that stuff at Comic Cons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what else was.
Well, we've been given a date for the Borderlands movie, which
Yes.
has Jamie Lee Curtis, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and others.
Mm,
Which is due August 9th next year, 2024.
be interesting to see how well that does.
I want this film to be good.
Same.
I think it has got the cast to be good.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is how long it's taken them to get here. They stopped filming this 4 years ago.
Well, yeah, because
They like finished filming it.
it went through a rough, like everything. COVID hit hard, and it's like and delayed it badly. So
No, I want it to be. I want it to be like the Dungeons and Dragons film.
yes, do
If
what
it
it
hits
needs
that
to do, and
vibe,
don't try and overreach.
yeah. If it hits that vibe, I think the film will be very, very good. Because let's be honest, that's all Borderlands feels like. It feels like a bunch of friends being idiots.
Yeah.
So hit that vibe and you'll be fine.
Yep.
And then on the 29th of September,
Yes. Gen
the
V.
first 3 episodes of Gen V, the boys spin-off, is coming out, and Hori's very excited. He's just
So
itching for
excited.
more boys content.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch Gen V, not watch any of the boys.
You'll probably be confused as fuck.
It's fine.
Talking of people saying they need to watch stuff and then watching it, I'm nearly at the end of season 3 of Rebels.
Yes. So
I'm loving it.
I
I told you eventually, like I'd sit down and force myself to watch a couple of
Yeah.
episodes,
And
and
you
then
get
it'd
back
be
into
like there, and then I'd be like going through.
I've been loving your role and commentary in our little Star Wars spoilers chat. Especially like, why is this Blue Donny so obsessed with other people's culture?
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite. And then he was like, hang on, is this guy just the British Empire?
Yeah.
I was like,
Thrawn
yep.
gives big British vibes.
He does.
Turns up, destroys your navy, takes your culture's importance, and refuses to elaborate.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm excited for you to like.
I'm not looking forward to whatever fate befalls Kanan,
Don't know what you
because
mean.
no one even seems to be discussing him as an opportunity to join the Ahsoka show, and
I'll
I
just
have
wait.
no idea why.
I'll just wait.
I can't imagine it's good.
I'll just wait.
I'm also a little bit confused. Obviously, I'm sure
Oh.
it'll get elaborated on. But at the end of the second season, Ahsoka fights Darth Vader. Fucking awesome.
Yes.
And they think she's dead, but we see at the end of that episode that she doesn't die. And obviously, I know from having watched other stuff that she doesn't die. I don't know why she hasn't reached out to be like, "Hey guys, I'm alive." So I'm a bit confused by that.
That will be explained.
It was hype as fuck when I saw Maul. Also in that double parter, where like we see this old guy like walking around. I'm like, interesting. I think I know who that is. And then you get the reveal, and I'm like, fuck yeah, baby.
That like the Maul reveal in Rebels. I'm so glad they brought him into the show, and he gets like his little bit of extra
Maul is the
life,
fucking goat.
like just to because like we hadn't had him come back since the last time we saw anything of him was in in the animated Clone Wars, like I bet,
Yeah.
like other than the film, obviously.
Well, it's crazy because you would have had a bunch of people who only watched the live action films. They went to see Solo and they're like, the fuck is Maul doing? And then everyone who watches everything is like, fuck yeah, Maul. And they're like, what do you mean Maul? He died in fucking episode 1. Like,
Yeah.
like fuck did he, bitch?
Yeah. There's so much more to his story that like a lot of people don't know. But yeah, I'm so excited for you to get into these next. I think is there 2 more seasons or just 1?
Well, there's 4 seasons, so I've got like a season and 2 episodes.
Okay. So yeah, this next season is gonna get juicy.
Yeah. Very, very excited.